Hello friends, I'm Miss Kelly from the Highland Park Public Library and welcome to Library in Your Living Room. In this video I'll talk some more about social emotional learning and how, after your child has a good sense of self-awareness, the next skill for them to learn is self-management. Self-management is the ability to successfully regulate your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in different situations. And this regulation is achieved by effectively managing stress, controlling impulses, and motivating yourself. One skill associated with self-management is impulse control, and that is the ability to not act on an immediate impulse, but rather to delay that action for a period of time. Sometimes kids act impulsively when they don't listen to directions. So when you give your kid directions, have them repeat them back to you. This helps them to more fully process what they're supposed to be doing. Problem-solving skills also help with impulse control. So if your child is having trouble figuring something out, you can let them know that there's usually more than one way to solve a problem, and encourage them to brainstorm before taking action. Games such as Simon Says, Follow the Leader, and Red Light, Green Light all give your child opportunities to practice impulse control, and they'll have fun playing them. With practice, your child can train their brain to have better self-control. A great book about impulse control is Oh No, George by Chris Haughton. In this book, George really wants to be good while his owner's out, but sometimes he has some trouble controlling himself. I hope I'll be good, George thinks. George sees something in the kitchen. It's cake! I said I'd be good, George thinks, but I love cake. What will George do? Oh no, George. What has George seen now? It's Cat. I said I'd be good, George thinks, but I love to play with Cat. What will George do? Oh no, George. So a little later, George's owner comes home and takes him for a walk. Great! George loves to go out. There are so many things to see and do. Uh-oh, George has seen a cake. Will he eat it? Nope, George goes right past it. Well done, George. George sees some lovely dirt. Will he have a little dig? No. Well done, George. George doesn't even try to chase Cat. Even Cat is a little bit surprised. Another important self-management skill is stress management, and having a solid foundation of self-awareness can allow your kid to know when they're feeling stressed so that they can better manage it. Let your kids know that they can talk to you. They may not be ready to share yet, but they need to know that you'll be available when they are ready. Try doing an activity that you both enjoy while you talk about stress, like taking a walk or baking cookies. Kids are more comfortable sharing their feelings if they're engaged in physical activity while talking. Share some breathing and reset exercises with your kids. You can get their favorite stuffed animal and put it on their belly and make the stuffed animal go up and down. Blowing bubbles can also help because children have to blow really carefully and slowly. Most important, tell your children that everyone experiences stress sometimes. It's very normal, and let them know that their mistakes are learning experiences. Goal setting is another important self-management skill, and it's a skill that you can practice as a family in addition to encouraging your children to come up with their own goals. One thing you can do is create a goal ladder. So you write the ultimate goal on the top of the ladder, and then starting at the bottom, you write the steps to achieving that goal. And this is a really good visual aid for kids to see their progress in reaching their goals. If your child is having trouble thinking of a goal, one thing they can do is create an interest map. So that just involves your child writing down all of their favorite interests and seeing if there's any pattern there. Once your child has all their interests mapped out, then they can begin to create a goal. Another part of self-management is self-motivation, and this is a skill that is kind of difficult to teach. Kids must develop their own internal push to keep moving forward towards a goal, and setting a specific goal is a great start to employing self-motivation. You can help your child with self-motivation by encouraging their interests, cultivating persistence, and modeling optimism. Rewards kind of have a bad reputation, but when used appropriately, they can be really effective with self-motivation. So don't think of them as bribes, think of them as incentives. When using rewards, be sure to reward a skill rather than a norm. So if your child learns how to write their full name, that's a skill. You can reward them with a new box of crayons or something. But if your child comes home from school with a happy, smiling face on their behavior report every day, that's something that maybe doesn't need a reward because that's expected. It's expected that your child behaves well in school every day. So you can offer encouragement or just compliment their good choices and move on. Another self-motivation tool you can use is a vision board. A vision board is a collection of images or words that represent things you want to do, things you want to learn, or really anything that you want out of life. You can get really creative with vision boards, and they're very good for self-motivation. The last big skill associated with self-management is organization. Organizational skills can refer to physical space and materials, mental pictures and information, and time. Keeping our areas uncluttered as well as storing materials in a neat and organized way for easy access allows for more productive time. Try giving your child some control of the house. Maybe let them organize their own room. Encourage them to use checklists and designate certain places for playing, studying, etc. Encourage them to keep their own calendars, and you can even create a master family calendar so you can keep track of everyone's plans. A good book to encourage organization is Pigsty by Mark Teague. In this book, a boy's room gets so messy that pigs start to move in. When Wendell's mother came to look at his room, the pig was hiding, but the mess was still there. She threw up her hands. "Okay, Wendell," she said, "if you want to live in a pigsty, that's up to you." Wendell could hardly believe his luck. Now I can live however I want. He didn't even worry when he came home on Tuesday and found a second pig in his room. The mess had grown a bit worse, but he was able to jam most of it under his bed. "Pigs are all right," he said, "as long as it's only one or two." Then 2 more pigs showed up. The mess just grew and grew. That night when Wendell went to bed, the pigs were lying everywhere. They rolled up in his blankets and hogged his pillows, too. Wendell told himself he didn't mind, but then he found hoof prints on his comic books. And Friday, when he got home from school, he saw that someone had been sitting on his basketball, and his baseball cards were chewed. Well, I hope this video gave you some ideas on how you can introduce self-management to your kids. I hope that you have some fun doing it. And remember, you can always check out hplibrary.org to see more of our resources. Until next time, see ya, friends.